there, I'm Molly. Welcome to Savvy Looks, where I like to take outdated and damaged secondhand furniture and give it a whole new life with some paint and updating. Today I got a super cute mid-century modern end table for super cheap at a yard sale. In my area, mid-century modern pieces are gold, especially this style of mid-century modern. So if you want to see how I turned this damaged end table into a super cute colorful piece, just keep watching. I picked up this mid-century modern end table for just $5 at a yard sale. The top clearly wasn't in the best condition, but everything was structurally sound. I typically just sand the finish off of my pieces, but because this had a veneer and I just wanted to try it, I used citrus stripper that I applied really heavily with a foam brush. Using citrus stripper rather than typical chemical stripper is better for the environment and it has less harsh chemicals. Still, I choose to wear gloves, a respirator, and do this in my garage with the door completely open. The downside is mainly that it's just a lot messier. It's really goopy, really gross, and difficult to clean up. And I think in general it probably doesn't work quite as well as a traditional chemical stripper. I actually haven't used any chemical strippers, so I can't really speak to that. But I used a plastic scraper to help wipe up and scrape up all of the additional stripper along with all of the finish underneath. The annoying thing is the top had these grooves in them, which was really difficult to get the citrus stripper out of, but I ended up having to use the edge of my scraper along with switching to a metal wire brush to get any of the goop out. I don't recommend you use a wire brush because I think it ended up damaging my wood. The best way to stop the chemical process of most strippers like this is using mineral spirits. I used fine grit steel wool to wipe it all over, get any of the goop residue off, along with just stopping the chemical process. Although this process wasn't particularly fast, I do think it cut back on my sanding time by quite a bit. Again, here I used a metal wire brush, and although it did help me get the goop out of the corners and edges, I don't recommend this because I feel like it very minorly damaged my veneer in a few areas. I went ahead and cleaned the entire piece with a degreasing cleaner and then rinsed everything off with water to remove any soap residue. I realized that the drawer slide rail was a little bit loose, so I easily tightened the screws. I always remove any hardware before I clean drawers. To sand the finish off of the tops, I started by using my 3x4 electric Ray Serv Prep sander hooked up to my shop vac and then switch to my orbital sander. I switched back to my SurfPrep sander using foam abrasive sanding pads to sand all of the rounded edges. I also used the sander to lightly scuff sand the rest of the piece. Once I had taped off all of the areas I didn't want to get paint on, I was ready to paint using Melange paint in the color Aloe and a zebra paintbrush. I like to lightly mist my brush with water. I absolutely love the color of this paint. It's honestly one of my favorite colors right now, and I love the self-leveling and great coverage aspects of this paint. This paint only needed 2 full coats to get solid coverage. This is the best part! I apologize for the airplane and neighbor noises, but to fix any seeping that occurred under my tape, I lightly sanded it off and did any fixing with a zebra square brush. I chose to do my paint before my stain because I figured this might happen. I wanted to use a slightly darker stain color to sort of replicate the original wood color. So I used a walnut colored stain that I applied with a rag and made sure I was wearing gloves because I got stain everywhere. I used a small foam brush to work the stain into all of the grooves. I definitely got some stain on my paint in a few areas, so I used my zebra brush and same aloe paint to fix it. This is my puppy Mo, also known as my supervisor. She had to check in, help me out with this painting touch-up process. For the best possible protection and durability, I chose to use Dixie Belle's Gator Hide Top Coat because it's water resistant and very durable. I applied it using a zebra fan brush and using a mister bottle to make sure I got a really smooth finish. I waited several days before I applied this top coat because it's water-based and my stain was oil-based, so I wanted to make sure that my stain was completely dry so that I didn't have any sort of reaction with the water and oil-based products. Make sure to brush in the direction of the wood grain. I repeated the same process using the same product and the same brush on the rest of the painted end table. I used 2 full coats on the base and then an extra third coat on the drawer and top because they're the more high traffic areas. I also highly recommend that you completely clean off your brush before moving to the painted areas so that you don't drag any of the stain color into the paint and vice versa. Using Howard's Feed and Wax, I revitalized the sides and inside of the drawer. Now to address the hardware. I thought that this hardware was so cool and so mid-century modern, so I decided to use steel wool, a cleaning toothbrush, that same metal wire toothbrush, and Barkeeper's Friend to completely clean this hardware. And it revealed this super light gold color that I was not expecting would be underneath. I figured it'd be a lot darker, and it ended up being this super light champagne gold that was super pretty and really complementary with the green. Then I was all finished. I absolutely love how this end table turned out. This green color is definitely one of my favorite colors right now, and mid-century modern is probably my favorite style of furniture. I absolutely love this end table transformation, and I hope you did too. In total, I spent about $15 and was able to sell it for $80, giving me a $65 profit. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and come follow me on Instagram and Facebook at savvy.looks. So I used Melange paint to paint this piece, and it was so cool. Melange did a Instagram post about their color Aloe, which is the color I used to paint this end table, and they actually featured my end table, which is so cool.